What is up, guys? It is RivRat, and we are back at it again with another video. This one talking about how to break in your glove. Let's get it rolling. So first thing is first, guys, I have all my A2000s out right here. This, guys, right here is one of my Rawlings. It was given to me. It is not a gamer. This is a practice infield glove. So I thought I'd put her out here just to demonstrate also on her because she's Rawling, so I like to beat her up a little bit more than my other gloves. So she's gonna be out here today. I am pretty much just Wilson. I love Wilson. I think they're top-notch gloves, and I'm not getting paid to say this, so I do believe Wilson is the best for me. If you guys don't like Wilson, I'm sorry. I wish you did, but for me it is Wilson. Guys, so I have two different models right here in front of me. I have the A2000 1787 model, and this is an 11 3/4. This is my third baseman's glove. Okay, so it's the 1787 model A2000. And then I have the 1786 model, which is an 11 1/2. And this is just like, just a little bit different of a style. They have the same webbing and the same super skin right here, but I think because the model is different is because of the sizing. So this is 1786 model, 1787 model. For the most part, I am strictly Wilson, and those are my two models. I do have an A2K here. I'll talk about her a little bit later. But anyways, let's get into it. First things first, guys, I am pretty much against using a bunch of product to, lather my glove up when breaking it in. Now, down the road, as the gloves get a little bit older, I'm for using like a Vaseline or something like that to help moisten the leather up. But as far as breaking it in, the A2000s already come with a good softness. They don't come cheap to where it's like really super flimsy, but they don't come super stiff as the A2K or Pro Preferred Rawlings. You know, they come on the softer side, which I love because it doesn't take me as long to break it in. So when I'm breaking in my gloves, guys, I'll use this for example. This is my baby. I got her 4 years ago, and she is still pretty much brand new. I've only played catch with her twice, as you guys can see. For some reason, when I opened up the box to get this glove, I was like, oh, I can't use her, I can't. So I have never used her except, like I said, twice to play catch. Other than that, it sits in my house and I just stare at her when I'm bored. I bend the thumb out and the pinky out, guys. I bend them out, okay? That's my first thing. So what I do is I take, right in here, and I bend this out and I bend that out. And I love to get that flare. I love to open this side out. And it's kind of similar to the Nolan Arenado and the Troy Tulowitzki style, but they kind of grab everything and bend out. They love to open this up. For me, it's just kind of the corners, because I like to keep this part formed, because just in case it hits that, I would like this inner pocket, I would like it to bounce this way as opposed to theirs. I feel like theirs can escape a little bit coming out this way. So I just try to bend the pinky and the thumb out, okay, create that flare. Also, I am a two in the pinky kind of guy, okay? I do not do straight up. The two in the pinky was introduced to me when I was about 17 years old. I tried it, felt really weird at first, but then I noticed that I was able to, over time, create a bigger pocket in my glove, which is what I wanted. I wanted that bigger pocket. And some people are like, well, you're an infielder, you don't need that big pocket. I think you do. I like a little bit deeper of a pocket. That way I have a better chance of locking a ball in on a line drive or a hard hit ball at me where I'm only using one hand. I can lock it in. Like I said, guys, work on those flares. You guys can all see my gloves have that flare to it. I love to keep that flare. And because these gloves come a little bit softer, I don't need to use a Vaseline. I want that naturalness of my glove. I don't want to soften it up too much because you get this thing what they call a pancake glove, and I'm going to use the Rawlings for this one because I don't like to do it to my A2000s. But if you take a pancake glove is when basically your glove is just flat like this, and that's just indication that the person does not take care of their glove, I think, and that it's just sloppy. I don't want that. You know, I want my gloves to sit open, but I also want them to be able to close easy. If I hold the glove like this, it's not gonna close down like a pancake. You know, because I've taken good care of my gloves, and I don't want that. I want that openness of them, but I also want that to be nice and easy to close. So you guys can see that, look how fast I'm going. You know, so this baby's broken in, but it still keeps its form. Still keeps its form fairly well. And this is an old glove. This was my first A2000 ever. I've had her since I was 18. I am 25, guys. It's 7 years old. She's done awesome. I do not use her anymore, but she's in still really good condition. If I had an emergency glove I needed to use, I would use her. It's fairly simple for me, guys. I don't take a lot of time to break in my gloves. I just work on that flare. I work on bending the pinky and the thumb out. I also pat the pocket. That way I can create a deeper pocket. And where's my weight? Ah, there she is. So I take about an 8-pound dumbbell. You can take a 5-pound, whatever. And also, same thing. This will also help deepen your pocket. You know, try not to do it too much. You don't want to mess up the leather too bad, but you know, when you're working on gloves and you want to create that pocket, just take that weight and work it. Deepen that pocket a little bit more. Let's put you away. So you can use a weight, you can use your fist, and then simply it's playing catch and doing everything that you would do in practice. So what I do is when I'm breaking them in, I'm always working on that flare for me. Then I play catch. I take ground balls and I let the nature of breaking in gloves take its course. I don't wrap up the glove with string, because when you wrap up a glove with string, okay, let's say you put a ball in there, you wrap it around. Some people even kind of put it under their tire to keep it closed, and they put a bunch of product on it so that way it stays like that. Okay, well now your glove is formed closed. It's gonna form like this. So now when you put your hand in it, this is how it is. Or even if you open it up, look how small that is. As opposed for me, I let those flare out, and now look at that. Now if a ball's coming at me hot and I don't have much time to react, I have that much more area to be near the ball than this. So now that ball hits right there, it's gonna kick off that way. But if it's there, it hits right there, boom, it goes into my glove, I knock it down. I'm pretty simple on breaking in gloves, as you guys can get from this video. I'm not for product at all. I'm strictly just about letting the nature take its course, play catch with it, work on your flare just with your hands, and play catch. And do your thing, guys. This works for me. My gloves have stayed in really good shape, and I've also taken really good care of my gloves. When I set them down, I try to set them down like this, and they do well. Now, let's say it's down the road, and your gloves are getting a little bit more dry, and you need to moisten up that leather. I strictly just use Vaseline. There she is. Okay, guys, and what I do is I'll use this one for example, because this one's a little bit older and it's more dry. So I just take a little bit on my finger, and it's as simple as just moistening it up. I don't want to overdo it, okay? Some people, you know, put like a latex glove on because they don't want to get on their hand. I don't really have latex gloves right now, guys, so I'm just going to use my hand. And it's just about, you know, just massaging that Vaseline in there, okay? Very simple, and you'll kind of see the leather, it will start to get a little bit darker. You know, it'll look more newer, which everybody loves. Everybody loves that newer look, right? I know I do. So, just gonna do it quick, guys, because I don't want to spend 20 minutes lathering up a glove with Vaseline. And that's a quick job right there, guys, but you can kind of see it's a little bit more shiny. I think you can see that in the camera. It's a little bit more shiny, a little bit more black than when I started with it. And you know, this is what I do is I just, you know, I take it off and I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna let that sit overnight and let that really kind of sink into the leather and soften it up. And then the next day when I get it, if there's any type of residue on it, I'll just take the rag and I'll just kind of wipe it off a little bit. And you'll see, guys, you'll see that that leather will be a little bit more cured and it'll come out nice. But like I said, guys, I use this for when the gloves are starting to get older. You know, if a year or two has gone by, or it's been a lot of sun, a lot of dry rot on there, then I will use the Vaseline to moisten up the glove. And I'm not saying that this is the right way to do it, guys. This is just what works for me mainly. So if you guys, you know, like the way I break in my gloves, give it a try. I think it'll work good for you. And then just make sure you take care of your gloves, guys. Don't just throw them around. You know, when you're setting, you know, getting ready to play catch and your gloves on the grass, you know, set it down like this. It'll last you a lot longer. That way, every 2 years, you don't need to buy a glove. You can have one that lasts you 7 years. You know, this one's lasted me 5 years. This one's lasted me 3 years. Like I said, this one I haven't really used, but this has been sitting in there just like this for 4 years. So if you take care of your gloves, guys, they will last longer. And yeah, so, you know, if you guys like it, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any other questions on my gear or just questions about baseball in general, let me know. You guys can drop a comment about it. You guys can also email me what you guys want to see, and we'll go from there. All right, guys? Don't forget, let's get it.